And welcome inside the Backstage Pass Hump Day Wednesday. That means one day closer to the weekend, which we all love out there too. Whether you've had a 5 day work week or, in my case, a 4 day work week too, as well. Live out there on KKTC True Country 99.9 and our friends out there at hightidecountry.net, of course. And always the Sports Guys podcast.com. Thanks to the work our sponsors do out there too. We'll hear from them throughout the broadcast today. But I told you guys we had a good one over these next few days, highlighting some of the best and brightest country artist out there too. She's been known to get out there into that category. CMT's Next Women of Country and a whole lot more. The new single we got to play this morning on KKTC called Love Me First. The great Camille Parker back here on the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing so good. Thank y'all for having me today.
Well, good to have you back. And I know we got to see each other during CRS, which is always fantastic, too, to get out there and meet everybody and say hellos and stuff like that, too. And you've been busy since CRS, so kind of give us an update, or at least a show here, on what you've been working on.
Wow. So, yeah, we love our friends in country radio, so it's always fun. CRS is my first one. This is the first time that I've been, so it was really exciting. When we left that CRS day, I actually started prepping for a show. We started doing more live shows. I have a very fun show coming up soon. I can't wait to give y'all more details about that. But right now we're getting everybody used to this new sound called Southern Pop. It's like an extension of country music. I was raised on good classic country, and I wanted to keep that part of the art exactly how it is, but I needed to expand my sound because I am a growing artist. So we're bringing in all of the less traditional sounds into that, so that when I do something that's hardcore country, y'all know it's me. When I do something that's a little bit more out there, you'll know that too.
I love that too. Speaking of that too, how important is that for your background growing up on that, what I call just classic country, neo-traditional, traditional, whatever title you want to use for it? How important was that for you kind of growing up to become the artist you are today?
It's really important. I grew up in this world where at home I listened to very traditional classic. I mean, 70s and 60s. You know, it was pop music when it was Merle, if it was like later Merle Haggard, you know. And then when I would go to school, it would be all of this hip hop and pop music and R&B. So I lived in these two worlds. And I think it's beautiful that I was raised on a great tradition of attention to songwriting and telling real working class people's stories. But I think it's really honest for me to want to incorporate the sounds of my generation and of, you know, the current time as well. So I think country music can come a lot of ways, but I have such a sweet spot for the tradition. So I want to, you know, make sure that when we talk about it, it's done in a really authentic way.
Yeah, and you see so many of the greats, man, still out there doing their thing, too. I just had one on Barbara Fairchild, the Teddy Bear song last week, too. Talked to Barbara about another album. We're talking 80s, 90s there, too, and then really 70s, 80s right there. But the great ones always seem, Camille, to find a way to hang around, too, don't they? It's just crazy.
Yeah, I think as long as I've watched so many of these men and women come up, and I've seen people that are, you know, quite well known, continue to play things like the Grand Ole Opry and continue to work the catalog of the things that we love. And I think when you start with a real story in your heart and with real songwriting, those things stay with us forever. You can change beats around and do all the cool things, but it starts with really good storytelling. And that's what I try to keep with me as a new artist as I grow.
Let's dive into this new one we played this morning on KKTC. Loved Me First. Came out there April the 5th, I believe, last Friday, too. So we're just into the first few days of this. Already a good response for you guys, and I love the storytelling through this one. Walk us through how this one came to be.
Oh, well, I wish I had a deep, long story for you. This was supposed to be Love Me First started as a petty get back record for a couple of my exes. I don't like the closure conversation. So I was just writing and I was like, I want to say all these things that I didn't say in person. And after I got that out, I realized that it would be a lot more valuable for people if they had a song that they could use while they were building that confidence back. Sometimes breakups aren't fair and we don't really like how they turn out, but I do think it's important when you are reclaiming your confidence to have somebody in the corner just whispering like, they loved you first, ignore the negativity. So I'm happy to be that voice on this song for people.
Let me ask you this, you know, growing up, and we may have touched on this a little bit at CRS, but of course, I know a lot of listeners, we've slept since then too, so it's always good to recap it. Growing up, what kind of made you want to get into, I mean, obviously the classic country listeners, but there had to be some point during your life where there was a talent show or coming up through there, or the first time you took a stage. Give me that story on just what made you want to get into the music business and become an artist.
Oh, wow. It was actually at church. I was an
Okay.
only child and I was raised by my grandparents, and I was a talker. If there was something to talk about, I was just running my mouth. And, your grandparents are just like, oh, sweet girl, go outside and play. So I just kind of got used to just, being the chatty girl. But I realized
Mhm.
that if I sang, people really listened to what I had to say. And I liked that because I remembered when my grandfather would sit down and he would turn on a Charlie Pride record or a Pointer Sister record or some good old CCR, he would listen so intently. And I was like, well, if he listened to those people like that, maybe one day people will listen to me like that. So I think my secret superpower that I've been kind of building is finding ways to say uncomfortable or brave
Mhm.
things with a lot of confidence and a lot of love. And maybe some people will listen to me one day.
Oh, they're listening all right too. Speaking of that too, you just made recently the Grand Ole Opry debut. To get out there and get in that center circle is saying something right there too. And a lot of people I was listening to a recap. I had Lainey Wilson on back before all this the big blow up. Now, I mean, she's everywhere, winning all the awards, taking home all the hardware, which is definitely well deserved. But I had
Mhm.
her back in December 2020. Happened to come across a little piece that we had talked about today, and she goes, living out of a car from Baskin, Louisiana, moving to Nashville, chasing that dream. It took almost a 10-year town and then a few
Mhm.
years, maybe a little bit extra. How tough is that too? And then looking back, this movement now, Camille, in country, and for female country, this girl power movement is fantastic for the industry, isn't it?
Yes, I think for me it's beautiful because this is the version of country music that I know best. When I was really falling in love with the genre, I was growing up on women like Reba and Faith
Hmm.
and Shania for the girls that love the big glamorous stuff, and there were and Martina, and there were all of these strong women that had so much to say. And I found so much power listening to women like Miranda Lambert, just hold no punches, let's get to it kind of country. And to see that coming back with Lainey and so many of the other girls that are, also new and really crushing it, it just gives me confidence that if I put the hard work in and I just stay focused on my goal and just stay
Hmm.
centered and be grateful for everything, especially being grateful for the hard work, that path is also available to me.
Stepping inside that center circle at the Opry, I mean, what went through your mind? Was it one of those euphoric kind of moments?
It's unreal. It's stepping into the circle is unreal. Anybody who tries to play it cool, like, don't believe them. We're all freaking out on the
Yeah.
inside. We're all like, oh my gosh. And you're like, don't miss a note and make your grandma proud. And all of those things that are going through your mind. But I love the Opry family. I'm so grateful that I'm a part of that world now. And I can't wait to be called back into that circle. Yeah.
It's an awesome feeling too. I got to attend my first show there last year during CRS, and man, it was pretty spectacular, very euphoric, and you realize what that's all about at the Opry House too, no doubt. Over in
Yeah.
England, I'm gonna go across the pond. My buddy David had a question here. We already kind of touched on the first part of the question about telling us some artists that inspired your music. His second part of the question was, do you play any instruments? I like
I,
that.
I do. So I grew up playing woodwinds, which is not the most efficient thing when you're also a singer. So I grew up playing things like flute and clarinet and all that. And then I actually picked up the guitar as a way to connect with myself emotionally. So I started doing like a lot of internal work and making sure that when I got in front of you guys, I would have positive energy to exchange because life is hard and you need someone in front of you.
Hmm.
I think it's important to have people in front of you who want to fill you with love. And I started playing guitar, just really simple chords, and it's given a lot of new light to the way that I approach music. I think of myself as more of just an orchestrator. I love to focus on getting real players in the room that can express
Hmm.
themselves. Eventually, y'all will see me on stage strumming away, but right now it's really precious to me, and I'm still very emotionally attached. But it's
I
coming,
love
and I can't wait to play for y'all live too. Yeah.
Love it too as well. Can't wait for that too at the same time. We're going to take a time out here, come back, and we'll talk about After the Whiskey Part 1. And of course, one of my favorite songs that Camille Parker put out called Spinning Out. We're going to spin
Yeah.
out now for commercials. How do you like that transition right there
I
too? If
love
you're
that. I
looking
love
for
that.
the perfect gift for your spouse, friend, family member, myself, my wife, Camille, and like I said, anybody out there too, Jewelry by Tommy's got you covered. Email our friend Tom Burley at burleysystem@yahoo.com. Today to order, it's handcrafted, handmade, is Jewelry by Tommy, of course, and always that positive, uplifting message. Christian country music is out there too for you and your spouse, friend, family members, everybody looking for something positive. Check out my good buddy, Grammy nominated singer songwriter Jonathan Bond at jonathanbond.com. You can click the link right there and go directly to the YouTube for a great positive message with our good friend there. More to come here too as well. Sending thanks out to our sponsors, KKTC, True Country 99.9, and of course, HighTideCountry.net. Stay tuned. More with Camille Parker coming up right after the break.
Ever thought about owning your own business? Tanya Lapsley-Cockett did. She decided a little over 5 years ago that she was going to be an entrepreneur, so she started her travel business. Tanya is married and works a full-time job. Her business has given her amazing opportunities. Not only does she get to help people create memories by booking their vacations, sporting and entertainment tickets, rental cars, etc., but it has also allowed her to help other families create legacy income. The travel industry is extremely lucrative and is an $8 trillion industry. The travel industry is projected to earn in excess of $15 trillion over the next 10 years. The travel industry pays its professionals up to 70 to 80% commission on the travel that they book for themselves and their clients. As a travel business owner, Tanya books travel and teaches others how to own and operate their own travel business. She is a director in training on the marketing side of her business, where she has helped over 90 families start their own businesses. If you're interested in owning your own travel business, please contact Tanya at 917-743-1199 or at ladytlc3555@me.com.
The Kate Gordon Show, today's best country mix, is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thekategordonshow.com for more information on the show.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here on the show again, Camille Parker joining us here on the Backstage Pass. Always thanks to the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Baseball season in full swing, March Madness. Congratulations to South Carolina and Connecticut winning the men's and women's national titles, respectively. NFL draft a few weeks away. We'll have some commentary on that too as well. But music is taking it over right now ever since I got back from CRS out there. KKTC, True Country 99.9, and our friends out there too as well at HighTideCountry.net too. Well, hey, I love the song. We talked about spinning out there for a commercial break. Now, I think we talked about this one too while I was in Nashville at CRS. For the ones that didn't hear the interview or get to tune in for the segment we had there at the Omni, talk about this one and kind of the backstory for spinning out, because I love this song.
Oh man, Spinning Out was a fun one. I wanted a good song for a bad day. I'm at this place in life where I'm realizing that not every day is going to be perfect, but what matters more is kind of how I respond to that. So I really wanted something that was just honest, like, hey guys, I'm not having a great day, but tomorrow's going to be better. And in the meantime, let's just have a little fun spinning out and knowing that, everything will fall back into place at some point.
At some point, it does. It feels like the washing machine syndrome.
Oh, absolutely. And some days it's like that. And I'm like, instead of running from it, let's just dig into it and be honest about it. And when those good times come back around, we can talk about that too.
I love David says my favorite songs of yours, Camille, are The Flame and Space Cowboy. Well, there you go.
Really? Wow. Thank you for
good
that.
Listeners
David.
across
That's
the pond. You got an audience over there
Yes.
in Cumbria and England too as well. Hey, let's talk about After the Whiskey Part 1. I mentioned that before we went to break. Love this fantastic EP that you got to put out October of last year. Heartless really was a song that stood out to me that really led off this EP and set the tone for the rest of the record. Talk about this and, of course, the EP itself.
Wow, Heartless was kind of the start of it all. I made a choice about a year ago to really imagine my art without limits. I wanted to make sure that I was being as authentic and honest as humanly possible, and that meant doing something that was going to be a little left of what I grew up on, but I wanted to make sure that at the core of it that there was a message in there, and I wanted to show people my fighting spirit. I love a lot and I love really hard, and sometimes I think I love a little bit harder than my brain is thinking. And it's, it can get you into trouble sometimes. And I wanted a song for anybody who's ever felt like, if I had just used a little more common sense, and it turned out really well. And I had a nice surprise in January. We charted on country radio for the first time.
So
that was very exciting, especially as a new artist, that being like kind of my first like real, step into the light. The Flame started a lot of things, but I think Heartless is the one that's kind of like, started new conversations around my art. And I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for all the people that called in and wanted to hear that, even though, I'm new in my journey. I just love that love is real and it's coming from real people. So we love Heartless.
There's another one off that record too for After the Whiskey Part 1. Peace really had a message that everybody needs to hear if they haven't heard it already, right?
Yes. That was for my girls. That was for the girls who, the women in my family, we are known to be a little spicy. We've got, Southern roots and West Indian roots. So when they come together, it can, it's going to be a good time. But I wanted a song for women to know that, like, for really anybody, but especially all of the women that we love in our lives, to know that you can only be responsible for your own peace. And if I bring my peace and you bring your peace, then we can have that. But let's make our peace our responsibility for ourselves too.
It's a great message everybody needs to hear, especially for the ladies out there too. Let's talk about music videos. I always love digging into this because I did get to see and follow the one for Love Me First. Let's kind of dissect this a little bit and talk about the making of this and all the details.
Yes, I made this one. I made Love Me First right here in Nashville. The entire crew's from Nashville. I wanted to dig into the local scene that's here. There's so many talented creators. Shout out to Natalie who directed this and all of the people that worked on this video. I wanted to play both characters in this video. I wanted to kind of show the softer side and the side of me that was a little bit, spicier, more of the energy I had when I was writing it. And we wanted to bring it in a really simple way, just straight black and white. Let's just focus on the song, focus on the message of what we're trying to say. My grandma hasn't seen it yet, so I'll deal with that later. But everybody else seems to really be liking it, and people are responding to it and sending me messages saying how much they are really glad that they have this song.
Yeah, and that was actually one of the second ones or third ones that you had done, because I got to see the one. There's several of them out there too. I got to see the one for After the Whiskey. It's like you guys had a little bit of fun doing that one too, right?
Yes. I love making videos. I know that, there's all these different kinds of content, but I love people who can imagine with their ears and with their eyes. And I just want to continue to grow in all of that and bring you guys really good stuff. Yeah.
Oh, it definitely is an art, and you got to have the right team behind you to shoot these videos. There's also one out there for Peace, if you guys want to go check that out too as well, that everybody needs to hear, especially our ladies out there listening to country music too. And that's the beauty of radio, man, and I love it too, because KKTC, the freedom to kind of play and feature all the great artists like yourself out there and play all these great songs. It is fantastic too. We'll take our final timeout, come back, do a little rapid fire with Camille, get to a few other questions, including some things in rapid fire here on the Backstage Pass. But again, if you're looking for that positive message in country Christian music, man, look no further than my buddy Jonathan Bond out there too. Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter. Check him out at jonathanbond.com. Click the link below right there too to go to his latest music video on his YouTube channel too. Just a great guy and has done so much for the music industry out there too as well. And also Jewelry by Tommy. If you want to buy Camille some, go ahead and do it. Spouse, friend, family member, guest here on the show. Jewelry by Tommy's got you covered. Email our friend Tom Burley at burleysystem@yahoo.com today to order. It's BUEHRLE system at yahoo.com. It's handcrafted, handmade. It's Jewelry by Tommy. Quick time out here coming up. Final segment with Camille Parker here on the show. KKTC, True Country, 99.9. And, of course, our friends out there, too, at hightidecountry.net. Stay tuned. More to come. Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass.
The Kate & Gordon Show is a 2-hour show playing the best in country music. So check it out at thekateandgordonshow.com. Again, that is thekateandgordonshow.com.
Ever thought about owning your own business? Tanya Lapsley Cockett did. She decided a little over 5 years ago that she was going to be an entrepreneur, so she started her travel business. Tanya is married and works a full-time job. Her business has given her amazing opportunities. Not only does she get to help people create memories by booking their vacations, sporting and entertainment tickets, rental cars, etc., but it has also allowed her to help other families create legacy income. The travel industry is extremely lucrative and is an $8 trillion industry. The travel industry is projected to earn in excess of $15 trillion over the next 10 years. The travel industry pays its professionals up to 70 to 80% commission on the travel that they book for themselves and their clients. As a travel business owner, Tanya books travel and teaches others how to own and operate their own travel business. She is a director in training on the marketing side of her business, where she has helped over 90 families start their own businesses. If you're interested in owning your own travel business, please contact Tanya at 917-743-1199 or at ladytlc3555@me.com.
And back here on the broadcast, the Backstage Pass, KKTC, True Country 99.9. Of course, our friends out there, hightidecountry.net. Always at the sportsguyspodcast.com. Of course, the YouTube channel, the Backstage Pass SG for sports guys too as well. Love this one. David says, which songs by other artists would you love to cover? Camille, good question.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh man. All right, here we go. I think Heart Like a Truck has my heart. I just think it's such a really well-written song. I know that's not everybody's first choice for a Lainey song, but it's mine. I just love a song that reminds people to keep going, and I think that song does such an amazing job of that. Mm-hmm. I think Let's Give Them Something to Talk About, a little classic right there. I think that's an amazing one that I would love to bring back. I've really been into, honestly, what have I been listening to lately? Wow. Oh, you know what else? I think there's a lot of deep cuts from some of the old Dolly albums. I was actually re-listening to Coat of Many Colors, and she has a couple ballads on there that I would love to reimagine one day, or even just make something that's inspired by that storytelling. I really love when she gets like really deep in those Tennessee roots and it gets almost a little bluegrassy. I think there's a lot of beautiful stuff in there. I love Dolly all around, but that album specifically, I think you could pick any song from that one that I'd be like, I'm game. Let's do this.
No doubt too. You guys keep firing away questions. You guys keep putting them there in the comment box. I'll keep asking them. I shouldn't be the only one asking questions here. See, it's a participation, engaging type of show here.
I love that. Don't be scared, y'all.
David said too, he says one day he's got to love into the come see you live and singing live. I think it'd be great to have her to do that and get out to a Camille Parker show, especially. And I know you're going to be. Are there plans now or in the talks for maybe CMA Fest? Are you looking at that?
We are, and I cannot wait to announce it. We spent time. I wanted to make sure you guys have really been supporting me for a few years, which is it says a lot about this community. And again, it's why I love country music so much, because of the loyalty. And when you guys like something, you really ride for it. So because of that, me and my band and everybody that helps make these songs possible, we wanted to put together a real good show for y'all with fun transitions, things things you haven't heard yet. So when we come on that stage this summer, we're going to give y'all everything we got because you deserve it.
Well, count me in to come out there. I'll be there June 6th to 11 in town there too as well. Already made some travel plans and definitely I'm going to try to come out to a Camille Parker show on one of the stages out there, the CMA stages too as well. And we just may do some video shots of it too, put it on the social media out there too, which is everything now has become social media too. Would love to get out there and see you perform live. All right, let's have a little fun with this. And if any more questions pop up, we'll get to them here on the broadcast. Goals and aspirations. We talked about music, CMA Fest. Is there any plans for a full-length album or more things coming up for 2024?
Yeah, we started the album. I was fighting it. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, these singles are great. We're getting to know people. It's fine. We just put out an EP. And I'm really fortunate that I have people that want to hear a larger project for me. I take that kind of stuff very seriously. And I sat down and I talked to my team, my manager, and I was like, listen, if we're going to do this, I want to give people something that they can play years from now. I want to make, real things that have meaning and still have a lot of fun in there. So we started writing the album. She has a name. She has a direction. I took an amazing trip recently and I met some creators that I'm really excited to continue working with so we can wrap this baby up and bring her to you. And as soon as I am ready to talk about it officially, I will be back here and I'll be walking y'all through it song by song.
Please do, no doubt too. I love this. David comes back. David, you're asking the questions. We're getting to them. Any plans down the line to come to the UK to perform? That's there you go.
I cannot wait to come back over to the UK and play. I played last year at the Long Road Festival, and the crowd there, the way y'all pay attention to songs and you get up and you have fun and you're in the moment with us. I said, if this is what y'all do in the UK, I need every part of it. So I cannot wait to come back with my full band and hopefully bring y'all this full project. And we might even play it top down. We'll see. But I want to do something special for y'all.
I like it too. Hey, take me with you too to the UK. I'd love to go over there.
Absolutely, Brandon. Of course.
There. All right. I finally got to try. There was always a little bit leery of it, but I did dig into Hattie B's when I was there on Broadway for the hot chicken. Now I went all the way from mild to medium. And I say that because I started at medium. Medium just had that nice flavor for me. So for you, one, are you a hot chicken fan? And two, if you are, where's your spot in town?
Oh man, so I like Prince's. I'm partial to Prince's hot chicken. I do try to remind people that my grandmother is from the West Indies, and we are all about our Scotch bonnet and our jerk. So Nashville hot chicken, it doesn't have anything on Jamaican or Trinidadian jerk, but I will tell you, Nashville does an amazing hot chicken sandwich, and if you get it done right with a buttery roll, it'll change your life no matter where you go. But if you want my favorite spot, it's Prince's.
Prince's. I'm going to try Prince's when I get there too for CMA Fest. We'll have a little downtime. Enjoy that too at the same time because we'll be busy. But definitely, sometimes you get so busy.
When you get in, we'll go together.
Well, let's do that. Camille Parker and Ray will go to lunch too as well. No doubt about that too. I'll have to give you a holler when we get in town. Favorite shows to binge watch? What do you like to binge watch on some downtime?
Oh, Brent, this is so embarrassing. I wish I had as good a taste in television as I do in music. I'm going to be honest. I like all the terrible stuff. I like all the guilty pleasures. What have I finished recently? Oh, I finished a series called Buccaneers on Apple TV. It's about princesses in the 1800s.
Nice.
I was a big fan of Succession when it was on. I like a lot of like crime, mystery kind of stuff. All of that, all the wild stuff, and I'm not above a good reality TV binge. I like it all.
For me, it's like, when do you ever stop working? I say I don't, because I'm always discovering new talent out there too. So I'm watching like American Idol, The Voice, AGT, and it's kind of cool because some people say, well, we like trash TV. I'm like, that's cool, but I like a little bit of that positive, uplifting message. And I think those shows, especially The Voice, and even Idol does it too. But it's cool to hear the storylines of all these kids, and I'll go ahead and say it because a lot of them are kids that get into this business, and it's like, this is so cool because they're on an outlet they may not, Camille, otherwise have a chance to get on to perfect themselves as an artist and put their music out there. Talk about that for me.
Yeah, those shows are really important. I've auditioned for that kind of stuff before. I did like Hollywood Week at American Idol years ago. I did a small show with Apple TV that aired a while back. And it is a beautiful place when you're developing. And I wish more people understood that as a new artist, we don't always get the appropriate amount of time or audience to develop in front of. So these platforms, they still have a lot of value when you're figuring it out and you're finding that voice. And I think they're beautiful, and I think they have so much meaning. And I love that music fans, real music fans, they appreciate the talent that comes off of these shows. And, you know, some of our favorite stars come from these places. So I'm always in favor of them. Anything that uplifts talent, that's what I'm about.
And we got one in the guy category tomorrow. He won it there back in 2014, I believe, was Team Blake. Craig Wayne Boyd, who's also in Nashville, Tennessee. Great artist, too. Got him coming on the program tomorrow. All right, let's do this one. Have a little fun with this one, too. If Camille Parker had never taken the musician route, what other career path would you have gone into?
I'd be a chef.
Oh, See, I gotta try some of your cooking.
Yeah, I can do a few things. Funny story, Brandon. I actually was about to let the music thing go. I thought, maybe my shot just wasn't gonna come. The day that I went to drop off my paperwork for culinary school, Shania Twain reposted me on her social media. And I was singing a Billie Eilish cover. It wasn't even country. I didn't even have time to tell y'all I was country. But it went up and it went out, and I just took it as a sign. And I said, you know what? If this is my path, I'm going to give this. I promised myself 5 years. I was like, it's a 10-year town. I'm going to give myself 5 years for some progress. And, the universe has really blessed me and has given me a lot of opportunity well before 5 years. And I'm grateful to still be following that path and listening to what, I believe is true. And I am thankful for that. But if you ever need a good meal and you like, a lot of fun food, I got you, Brandon.
You got me. All right. Yeah. I appreciate, try that and not just eat out. We have to
bring the whole family.
Some food and come on, house, try some of that good Camille Parker food. All right, let's do this. When you get a sweet tooth, what do you like to kind of dig into with desserts?
Ooh, so I actually really don't love sweets. I know that's so crazy.
Neither do I.
A lot of I don't. I kind of don't. I will not turn down a good pie though. I do love a good pecan pie. I do love a good sweet potato pie. That's when it gets like very homey and very Southern, because then I just want all of the things I used to eat on Thanksgiving. But outside of that, I don't know. I think I could wait till the holidays for the sweets.
That's a good thing too. And I was going to ask you like a favorite flavor, because I know for me, it's like every now and then I don't eat a lot of sweets, but I can dig into like some of the Baskin Robbins or some of the marble slab, like ice cream. So I get like the mint chocolate chip. Are you an ice cream fan? What's your favorite flavor?
I'm a Jenny's girl.
Okay.
Ooey gooey, whatever this ooey gooey one is. They have one that has like I think it's like whiskey and caramel mixed in there. That one's really good. And they have, I think it's called like brambleberry. It's like vanilla base with dark fruit in it, and it's so good. It's so delicious. If I'm having a bad day, you'll find me in my studio with a spoon, and we're just going to town on it. Yeah.
Well, Jenny's on the list, and of course, Camille Parker food on the list too. We got to go out to eat when we get there. June 6th to 11th will be in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee, a part of CMA Fest 2024, the largest worldwide music event out there too, and people just coming from all over to meet people nationwide. Always fun. And I heard a stat, something like that, over like 500,000 people usually are in Nashville by the time CMA Fest, I guess it's over. So it's just amazing to see how many people love country music. David, people in the UK, the things they do over there, and the people just travel worldwide to beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. Looking forward to seeing you perform, going out to eat. The single's called Love Me First, out there across all the streaming platforms from the great Camille Parker. Hey, let's do this again when you got more to announce, and I look forward to seeing you at CMA Fest in June. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Brandon.
We got it. Camille Parker here on the Backstage Pass. Thanks to our sponsors and, of course, our friends out there, KKTC, True Country 99.9, and, of course, out there, HighTideCountry.net. We're back tomorrow. Craig Wayne Boyd. And, of course, Friday, we're going to do a little brunch, I should say matinee kind of show in the morning because I'm busy at night. But Allie Walker is going to be coming by on Friday. Looking forward to that, too, as well. She just signed a record deal. And, of course, beautiful songs out there, too, across all those streaming platforms, too, as well. And, of course, Doug Gray. Coming up, the leading founder and member of the great band that you may have heard of out there too as well, Doug Gray, if that didn't ring a bell. You got to remember the song Can't You See from the Marshall Tucker Band. Doug Gray coming by April 23rd here on the Backstage Pass, talk about their touring and, of course, all the great hits they're playing out there too as well. From all of us here at the Backstage Pass, stay tuned for a lot more. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock, same bat time, same bat channel. Artist Spotlight show coming up in the morning on KKTC. And we'll have a whole lot more to announce, just like Camille will here over the next few months. We'll see you soon. Take care.